So Microsoft Security Response Center came out with a new CVE just minutes ago. Let's go over here and take a look at it. So I'm going into my Twitter account and twitter.com. And let's see. Watch me work. Where is that? Here it is, Security Response. So that's 2 hours ago now. Click on this guy. And it's a new CVE number 202134481. Dated today, July 15th, 2021. The assigning organization is Microsoft. And we'll take a look at it and see what's going on now. Good golly. So all of these items here are basically check boxes. They each can give different information to tell some information about the vulnerability. So let's get down to some more specific information. Executive summary and elevation of privilege vulnerability exists when Windows print spooler service, here we go, can you spell PrintNightmare? Improperly performs privileged file operations. We've heard that terminology before. An attacker who successfully exploited this vulnerability could run arbitrary code with system privileges. An attacker could then install programs, view, change, or delete data, create new accounts with full user rights. An attacker must have the ability to execute code on a victim system to exploit this vulnerability. So what this piece says to me is that an attacker has to already have access to your computer, already have ability to execute code. So if they can already execute code, why do they need to be able to elevate privileges? Well, the reason is because if they're connected to your computer, able to execute code, run programs on your computer, probably only with the level of privileges that you have. So this privilege escalation would be to be able to have higher rates. The workaround for this vulnerability is stopping and disabling the print spooler service. We've seen this before too. So I have instructions for how to create a batch file to have icons on your desktop to stop the print spooler service and then to restart it when you want to print. After you finish printing, then you can stop it again. So this is saying that this workaround is still needed even if you received the Update Tuesday patch 2 days ago. Exploitability. The following table provides exploitability assessment, and they're saying that it's publicly disclosed, but it's not exploited, and exploitation more likely. So they're saying here that they don't know that it's been exploited. If we go into this exploitability assessment, you get more details about that. Exploitation more likely, so is at level 1. So level 0 would mean it's exploitation detected, hence the term 0 day. Not quite sure if 0 day refers to this index, but that is what that term means. And then exploitation more likely. Microsoft analysis has shown that exploit code could be created in such a way that an attacker could consistently exploit this vulnerability. Moreover, Microsoft is aware of past instances of this type of vulnerability being exploited. This would make it an attractive target for attackers, and therefore more likely that exploits could be created. As such, customers who have reviewed the security update and determine its applicability within their environment should treat this with a higher priority. Okay, so some more important stuff for us to look at here. Workarounds. We've seen this before. This was in the prior CVE from Microsoft about stopping the spooler. Now this is using Windows PowerShell. The commands that I'm going to provide is just a simple batch file to stop the service and disable it, and then to re-enable the service and start the service, rather than using the PowerShell method. Then here's frequently asked questions. Of course, these are Microsoft's imagined frequently asked questions. Is this vulnerability related to the previously addressed 1675 and 34527 vulnerabilities? Here's the answer. This distinct vulnerability, those three words imply that they're saying no, also exists in the print spooler service. They're kind of saying, yes, it is related. However, the security impact is local elevation of privilege, implying that the other two CVEs were not a security impact of local elevation of privilege. And just in my recollection, I thought one of them was. I think we called it LPE. Did the July 2021 security update introduce this vulnerability? Now here, Microsoft has a very clear, proper answer to this, right? No. It's a yes or no question. That first question was a yes or no question. They never said yes or no. This is consistent with Microsoft's poor communication skills. But here they're saying no. The vulnerability existed before that. Did the July 21 update introduce this? No. It existed before that. I guess the only thing that is what that they're happy to say is that they didn't actually create this vulnerability with the last patch. We created it a long time ago. The vulnerability existed before the July 13th, 2021 security update. We recommend that Microsoft customers install the latest security patch updates. So what they're saying there is that even with us discovering this, we still recommend that you do install the Update Tuesday from 2 days ago security update. And I tend to agree with that based upon my last, as indicated in my last video on this subject. What versions of Windows are affected by this vulnerability? We will update this CVE when we complete our investigation, meaning they don't know yet. If you wish to be notified when updates are released, we recommend you register for the security notifications mailer to be alerted of the content changes to this advisory. See Microsoft Technical Security Notifications. So this is a good thing to go in and do. I'm going to do it later on. I might just start a new video to show how that works. When will Microsoft release a security update for this vulnerability? We are developing, this is golden. We are developing a security update. All security updates are tested to ensure, calm down. I'm just reading here. All security updates are tested to ensure quality prior to release. Solutions to verified security issues are normally released via our monthly Update Tuesday cadence. What do you think what answer are they giving us in regards to when will Microsoft release a security update? I'm reading that as indicating that they don't intend to release this until the next Update Tuesday. And yes, it is tested. I laugh at it. I like to kick them around just like anyone else, but all security updates are tested to ensure quality prior to release. They are tested through the Insiders program before they're released to the public. The problem with that is the Insiders program is a certain type of individual or certain type of company, and once it gets released to the public, there's whole lots of other types of configurations that weren't included among people who sign up for the Insiders program. And then also the people who are in the Insiders program are kind of advised or well advised to do that on a test computer, and it's not actually on production computers. So that's a little bit of a weakness in how things are tested. Now this is interesting to me. Acknowledgements. Jacob Baines, one person in here. This has kind of been sounding to me, and the timing of this is sounding to me like this has recently come to Microsoft's attention. And indeed, I'm about to show you that it looks like that's the case. So Microsoft recognizes the efforts of those in the security community who help us protect customers through coordinated vulnerability disclosure. See acknowledgements for more information. Well, this is the acknowledgements. There's only one person here. Let's go look at that. Right-click on that, open a new tab. Takes us to a Twitter page for Jacob Baines. Looking down at Jacob's recent tweets, what do we find here? Well, this doesn't seem to be relevant to that issue. Come down and look at the next one. This doesn't seem to be relevant. Come down here a little bit further. I'm in the reading case studies portion of my vulnerability write-up. Send help. This sounds like Jacob on July 14th, yesterday, tweeted that he's working on the vulnerability write-up. So it sounds to me like this is something that just came to Microsoft's attention. And they have pulled a new CVE number. Down here, let's see, let's get back up here. So this is where I left off. Security updates. To determine the support lifecycle of your software. We don't need that. Release Windows versions under investigation. They're not telling us what versions are under investigation. The impact is elevation of privilege, severity important, and then the details gives the CVE number. That's what we're looking at right now. This web page we're looking at is the CVE. Revisions. So this is the first revision of this CVE. As they update it, then they'll add more lines to this CVE. Well, let's go ahead and look at this registering for security notifications. I might as well show you that if I haven't looked at this before. Security update email alerts, digitally sign with PGP. Please visit security to subscribe. You'll have to log in with a Microsoft account. Security advisory alerts. See, I do get Microsoft Security Response Center tweets, but they're easy to miss. Email alerts, free monthly service. No, I don't want a monthly service. Advisory alerts. Communicate security information about issues that may not be classified as vulnerabilities and may not require security bulletin. That's not what I want. Security Response Center blog alerts. That's what I want. You may follow us on our Twitter feed. Yes, that's what I have. MSFT Sec Response. Is that what first came up? MSFT Sec Response. Yes. So that's how my attention came to that. But tweets can come through my phone and I can so easily miss them. So here is an RSS feed for the blog. I just don't have my head into RSS feeds. Can I get an email alert? So no, I don't see a way here to get email alerts for that. Okay, so moving back. So what I think I'm going to do now is go to my YouTube site and just play that part of that video. So if I go to youtube.com/LWTDB, which is the acronym for my channel is LiveWindowsTraining-DougBetts. So the acronym LWTDB. And then for that, let's see, go here to videos. The patch did work. So this is my video declaring that the patch from the first Tuesday of July did work. And that is my opinion and belief that it did work for the criteria that was being disclosed at that time. And I give the reasons why I said it, why I held to that in this video. So I'm going to scroll down into the description section of this video because I have timestamps, and come down here to the patch, how to create patch files to easily stop and start Print Spooler. So I'll click on that time increment, and then I'm going to turn my microphone off and just, well, actually, no, you're going to hear it through the microphone. All right, I'll just be quiet. Okay, so now for the last part of my so-called outline, batch file disable spooler. I'll do Windows key D to get to the desktop. Right click on the desktop. We're going to create a couple batch files right on the desktop. Of course, you could put them somewhere else if you chose to. So I choose new, and then I'm going to go text document and put in the name of this document for spool stop, I'll call it. And then I want to delete the period.txt and change that to period.bat. And press enter, and press enter to answer yes to that. Then right click on that and choose edit. And then we're going to create some texting here. Let's put this Windows key right arrow and then up arrow to put it up here in the upper right corner. And I'm going to do Windows key V because I already have the text of this in the paste buffer or clipboard buffer, call it. For SC stop spooler and then SC config spooler start disabled. So this is going to not only stop the print spooler but also disable it. Now to see this happening, I'm going to do Windows key R and services.msc, which is already there because that's what I most recently did. And then I've already got it kind of in the upper left corner. Then I'll click on any one of these items and type PR. That'll get me close to print spooler. It'll get me right on print spooler, and it is running and it is automatic. So here I put in this text, and I'll go to the file menu and choose save, and that saves it as that. So here we have that content in here. I'll right click on it and choose run as administrator. You have to run it as administrator, it's just not going to work. So I click on that, answer yes to the user account control, and because I have that pause command in here, we can see that the stop spooler succeeded, and we can see that the change service config succeeded. So press any key to continue. That makes that window goes away. This still says running on automatic until I come up here to the action menu and choose refresh. And we see the print spooler service is not running and it is disabled. So now let's create the other one. I'm going to control drag this icon over to the right and let go of the mouse button first. And I'm going to change the name of that to spool start. And get rid of the word copy. So of course you're going to have to type this text out, or I'll probably put it into the description of this video, and that way you can just copy and paste if you want to. Now I'll right click on that and choose edit and bring this over to the right side. If I move it all the way over to the right, then it bounces up and takes the whole right half of the screen. So here, this is spool start. So I'm going to Control A to select all of that, Windows key V, and then choose the option here that I have already copied. So it's SC config spooler change, so changing the configuration to automatic and starting it and the pause command. So then I'll save that. So here I have my spool start and my spool stop. So I'll right click on spool start and choose run as administrator, answer yes. And we get a pause command here so I can see that this one succeeded and this one up here succeeded. Press any key. So if I look at print spooler here right now, it's not updated yet. So when I go to the action menu and choose refresh, now we see that it is running and that it is automatic. So that's a quick, easy way for you to put those two icons on your desktop and just enable the print spooler when you want to print. And that way you're protected against this vulnerability if you have chosen not to install last week's patch or this week's Update Tuesday patch, because this week is a cumulative update, so it's going to include what was contained in last week's patch, but it has some fixes for the printers that had troubles. So I think I've covered everything that I wanted to cover. Of course, 15 minutes after ending this video. Okay, so that is the batch file creation, and then in the description of that video I have actually the text of those batch files, which I'll put that into the description of this video as well. It looks like this. So if you just copy these sections, this part right here for the spool stop bat, and this section here for the spool start bat, so then that gives you that if you want or need to use that. So in conclusion or summary, based upon the CVE that Microsoft released today, they're saying if you did install the update that was on the first Tuesday of the month and the update that was on the second Tuesday of the month, you still have reason to be concerned about what's contained in this CVE number. However, in order for a hacker, criminal hacker type, to make use of that, they have to already have access to run programs on your computer. So that means through some other vulnerability that they already have access to your computer. So yeah, I think we're maybe going for another round of PrintNightmare. Now, it was never called PrintNightmare in any of that, but it's surely going to be called that. Just rightfully so. So that's it for this video. This is my email address. What I primarily created this YouTube channel for is to help people with their computer issues through Zoom session and connecting remotely to your computer and doing live streaming over YouTube with the people that show up during my live streams in the chat room, who are a lot of smart people that can help with whatever issues that you have on your computer, and that's a free service. If you're interested in that, send me an email to that address and we'll put it together. So have a great day. I hope that was useful. Catch you later. Goodbye.